Alright. Hello. Hello, hello. Welcome to day 69 of the thingamabob of the fight series. We're gonna get cracked straight on into it while I do my preamble, and I'll go through a super quick roll call because we have just one cup of water with us today, although I've got a feeling I might need to. A lovely cup of tea and a bowl of Irish. Oh my god! Oh no! I spilled my tea. A bowl of Irish stew soup. I think. Yeah. So anyway, so we got that today. So don't mind me if I'm just eating my dinner. I got off a work meeting call 25 minutes ago. Don't mind me if I sound a bit frazzled, look a bit frazzled, am very just all over the show. I'll mellow down. I'll mellow down when I can. But for the start, we're just gonna go for it. I'm gonna be all over the show, just complete warning. Yeah, as I said, work meeting, so I'm still, and before the work meeting, it was like an hour between that and another work meeting, so it's just a day. It is just a day of things. But anyway, hope y'all be doing good. Hope y'all be doing fab. And life is treating you well. Got quite a few updates. Do we have quite a few updates? Yeah, we've got quite a few updates. Yeah, no, we do actually. Oh my goodness, got so many updates. Some great, some bad. But we will. I mean, the bad stuff is just things that are completely out of anyone's control. So we take them as we come. And fingers crossed the bad news turns into good news very shortly. Anyway, we are just cracking straight into all this. So we have got to get to my goal today. It's 5,930 thingamabobs. 5,930 thingies. We're just gonna do them. I mean, which is I think about 88 fights. 88 fights, which is not too bad. It's definitely doable. Just looking at the fights to come. Oh, I've got a few Kunkros I can see. But the way it's going, the way we do them. Oh wow. Okay. Okay, Mr. Man. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Yeah, the way we're going, we should be able to hit 88 relatively soon. See where we are, how we're tracking. Anyway, with our basically 10 fights every 15 minutes is the goal. As long as we're doing the 10 fights every 15 minutes, then we should be right. Yeah. Anyway. We are going to, what's update number one? Update number one. So me and the boy went to so there's a restaurant near where we are. And we've been there before. Probably a couple of months ago, and it was delicious, absolutely delicious, and the food came out really soon. It felt like within 20 to 25 minutes of it being ordered, the food was already out, and we're like, how is that possible? Like, are you serious? 20 to 25 minutes and we've already got our mains? That's a bit ridiculous. So we were a bit skeptical, like, what's up? Like, surely the meat's going to be undercooked, or something's going to be, you know, old food or something. The meat was perfectly done. The meal was amazing. It was huge portion sizes. It was just absolutely incredible. And we're just kind of, I mean, dessert was incredible as well. Had a sticky date pudding with a hearty helping of custard. And we were just kind of just left a bit gobsmacked, like, how is this possible? In the span of like an hour and 10 minutes, we've had starters, mains and desserts, and had ample time in between. So it's just like, how? We couldn't work it out. But anyway, but that being said, we said, you know what? We're going to be going again. So we went again on Sunday night. And we said, what? We're going to skip the starters. We're going to go straight to mains. You see if this was all a fluke. And it wasn't. It wasn't a fluke. I ordered a steak. The boy ordered a steak and surf and turf. 15 minutes. It was out. 15 minutes with this huge blimmin' portion of food. Meat, just, you know, the best medium rare I've ever had. The most medium rare. We were kind of just speechless again. We're like, because I saw the food come out, I'm like, surely not. Sure, I mean, I know it comes out fast, but surely not. And no, there it was our food again, out straight away. And so we were, so we had that, delicious as usual. Desserts, delicious as usual. So we just couldn't believe it. We're like, right, we're going here, like, we're going here exclusively. This is just the most incredible place ever. We're waiting. It's almost like I'm waiting. Like, surely, okay, maybe a third time. They can't get it right again the third time. So we'll see. So we're gonna go again at some point. Probably not for like another month or so. But we're gonna go again at some point. See if it is a fluke. Be mind-boggling if it wasn't. Anyway, there's a piece of good news. Bad news. Now, I don't know if it's on the news everywhere else in the world. Probably, I'd guess. It says, we've been hit with Cyclone Gabriel. Rather the North Island of New Zealand has. South Island, where I am, is been relatively unscathed. It is a lovely, dry, sunny evening. You'd have no idea that the North Island is completely like, well, not the whole North Island. You'd have no idea that the North Island had been severely impacted by a cyclone and houses demolished and all manner of death and destruction in its wake. No idea if you were here. The bad news though is my parents. So my family, most of my family's okay. My older sisters and brothers are alright. My parents though, and my younger sister, they live somewhere that, not yesterday, the day before, got hit really badly. And I didn't realise how badly until the boy was like, oh, have you managed to get a hold of your parents recently? I'm like, oh. No, I haven't asked how they're doing with the cyclone. Let's have a look. Text mum on WhatsApp. You know, gives the sent but not like delivered. So okay. I'll text dad, and then suddenly I get like a message not sent, a message not delivered. I'm like, huh, okay. So then I call the house, like the house landline, and it's like the disconnected tone. I'm like, what the hell? And basically, where they live. Internet, power, all communications gone. All the roads out of town, gone. They were completely uncontactable. That entire district, and I'm just like, holy hell in a handbasket, goodness gracious, oh my lordy. So that was a couple of days ago. Even now, still nothing, still no way to get hold of them. On the news it's been a little bit more promising. You know, they've been getting military convoys in, you know, the food supplies were running low. Been a nightmare at the supermarkets because FPOS doesn't work and no one's got cash. So how are you supposed to buy groceries? I mean, I say no one's got cash, but you know, cash is scarce. No one really gets it out anymore. You know, food supplies running low. Like, what are you going to do? Because you can't get food into the district. So they've had military convoys bringing in food. But I think the scariest part is just not knowing. It's just like, you know, I've had my brother text like, have you managed to get hold of them? I've had my sister call like, have you managed to get hold of them? I'm just like, no. It's just the fact that we don't know. Like, I'm sure they're fine, I'm sure they're good, but just I don't know, and it's just scary. And if anything, it kind of just highlights how infrastructure nowadays, you know, you take out power and, you know, power and internet and comms, you know, how are you supposed to get hold of people? I mean, we don't have missed carrier pigeons anymore, do we? But it's just all that sort of stuff. Like, how can you get hold of your family when you can't call them or text them on a phone or FaceTime them or whatever? It's yeah, it's just that. It is, yeah, it's just a bit terrifying. Yeah, so I am just hoping and praying that they're alright. And it's also been funny. I've had both me and the boy have had someone that we haven't talked to in a while. I've got a friend up in Auckland who I haven't spoken to in ages, years. You know, obviously, I don't want to say it's purely my fault, but you know, it's just you know, one of those friends you sort of lose, you fall out of touch with. But he messaged, said, "I hope you and your family are alright." It's like, oh, I'm good. I don't know about my family though, but I'm good. Oh, that's right, because I haven't spoken to in years. Yeah, I've like moved city. Yeah, and then the boy had someone text him saying, "Oh, hope you and your family are alright. You lived here. You know, you guys were here, weren't you?" And he's like, "Goodness, like was many years ago. Who the hell is this?" It was like a whole, you know, new phone who dis kind of situation for him. But yeah, but anyway. So it's just all a bit in the air at the moment about what's happening with the people in that town. I just desperately need to know what's happened to my mum and dad. That's all. Oh, Satyas, hello. Oh, you're changing your room layout. Ooh, nice. But no, I am fab. I am fab. I just had a work meeting, like literally not even an hour ago. So I'm a bit frazzled, to say the least. But no, otherwise I'm doing good. Otherwise I'm doing fab. I am having my dinner though, so I do apologise for that. Oh my lordy loo. Bruh. There we go. Yeah, so I've got some lovely soup in a bowl that I'm just chilling on. And that's about it really. But no, what do you have any sort of, I don't know, aesthetic objectives for your room layout change? Like, are you going for, I need my games to be easily accessible from my bed, or I need my bed to be parallel to the shelf at a 90-degree angle to enhance the feng shui? Or are you just like, I reckon the shelf would look good on this wall, and I suppose the bed looks good that way. Or yeah. jubbly jubbly. Right, touchy reanimation. And I think I had to like processing since convinced me so. Oh, nice. That's good. Oh, fair. Okay, I dig. What games are you gonna be playing with them? But are we and great minds think alike, because the intention for this room anyway is we're gonna be getting a 2-seater couch, so me and the boy can play 2 players more easily. It's more conducive to Lord of the Rings movie marathons and 2-player games. People, Haven. I've heard of that game. I've read really good things about it as well. So I've been like curious to pick it up. The only thing is that the boy is how do I put this delicately? He finds it far more like he'd prefer playing like a what's the word? Like It Takes Two. I think he would enjoy that puzzly, and I suppose Little Big Planet we actually did a fair bit. But I think Haven's probably a bit too lovey for him. If that makes sense. Like it'll be the story aspect he won't particularly be too fond of. Like he will find, I don't know, playing Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, he will consider a far more romantic 2-player experience than Haven, if that kind of makes sense. But I would love to play Haven, because I'm all about the romance and I'm all about the love. Yeah, he's a real man's man in that sense. But games like It Takes Two, where more puzzly, and that even though the story is, I suppose it's not all sunflower and rainbows, is it? Sunflower? Sunflower is a flower, is it? Yeah. When you ever say words or you say things and your brain's like, that's not a real thing, but then you think about it and you're just like, and you think about, oh wait, hey, hang on, that is a thing. Yeah, sunflower's just that just now. Yeah. I love playing Haven even so, yeah, because I'm like, I dig the idea of it. And especially when it's like a couple that is like super in love with each other, I'm like, you don't see that very often in games or even in anything anymore, so I'm loving it. I'm on the love train. Are they is your SO, I should say significant other, are they into games much, or they're generally, oh my goodness, or they don't, if they had to choose play something on their own, games wouldn't be a first choice. Oh my goodness, controller please. Avalanche of dirt. But even saying that, you're just like, oh yeah, no, I can fully picture that correctly. Dreading It Takes Two. Oh bless. She'll be right. She'll be fine. I mean, it's I imagine again I haven't played it, but again I've heard really good things about it. Once she's into the swing of it, she will She will never believe that she didn't want to, that she was dreading it. It's like me with Viva the Pinata. Like, I remember watching the cartoon on Nickelodeon. Was it Cartoon Network? No, Nickelodeon. And I'm like, what the hell? Oh, like, oh, this cartoon's pretty fun. But there's like, oh, a game. Actually, no, was I? No, I'm like, oh no, this is weird. And then I remember getting the game. Didn't buy it. I think it was just on. Got it free for some reason. Or did I get it cheap? Anyway, I got the game, and I just remember like, oh, this is gonna be dumb. Like, this is gonna be so dumb. And that game was beautiful. Viva Pinata is an amazing game. I got so attached to my first pinata. It was this little orange worm called Wub, because you can call all of your pinatas names. So I called it Wub, and I got so attached to Wub. It was like top 10 video game characters is this little worm called Wub. And there's like these evil pinatas that come in and they eat your pinatas. And then I saw a little, like, I was off building, I think I was maybe watering some trees, and then I saw like Wub is being attacked, and I'm like, oh, Wub, no. So I've got to like go over, and then I can see the big, like, the red pinata, and he's eating Wub. And then by the time I got to him, he said Wub has been eaten, and he just explodes and all these little chocolates come out. And I was so distraught. I was like, Wub, no, no. So then I got another worm and I just called that one Wub. So I guess problem solved. But yeah. But anyway, no. Long story short, she will love It Takes Two. Haven't played it, but I can tell. R.I.P. to Wub. Bless his soul. He's a little worm pinata heaven. That's where he is now. Alright, after these two fights, we're down to 6,000. Very exciting. Oh, that is fine. That is all good. I mean, I don't know how other people do VIPs, but I'm just like, look, you guys, you're here, you're supporting, you are like, just seeing your little name pop up, I'm just like, yes, my bros are here. So I just thought, you know what, you are a VIP. You are a VIP. I mean, I don't know, I haven't actually properly looked what VIP actually does, if it actually does anything special, but I thought, well, why not? Why not? Well, I'm glad. So I want you to feel special. Think of it as like a little badge saying, look, I see you, I appreciate you, I am just so internally grateful that you pop in when you do, as you do, and it's just like a little, like, I don't know, just like a little appreciation token, I guess is how I see it, mainly. So I wish there was more than like 10, because I want to be appreciating a lot of people, but specifically you, Bull, and Nsebo at the moment. Oh, lovely, jubbly. Boom. Alright. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Should probably throw some jutsu in there, I think. Might actually be faster. Oh, lovely, that'll do. Question time? Any time is question time, my friend. Fire away. I'm all ears. I love questions. I love question time, if you can't tell. There's no better way to truly know a person than to ask them the hard-hitting questions. You'd be able to surmise. I love doing personality quizzes online. You know, which kind of toast are you based on your favorite color, or what would your favorite color be? What would your favorite color be based on the kind of toast you like? Yeah. Anyway, you get the gist. Think of 2 series. So as in like, okay, like game, TV, film, just any kind of like series, franchise, that sort of thing. Okay. Lord of the Rings and Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney, or the Ace Attorney series, I guess. That's my 2, which are they're very wildly different. I don't know if that's going to hinder me or not. Actually, no. I changed my mind. Lord of the Rings and Bayonetta. No, I changed my mind again. Oh, there's so many series to choose from. Okay. Okay, so Lord of the Rings is the movies, and we'll go Assassin's Creed, the games. So does it have to be like, does it have to be the same format? Oh. Oh, okay. So okay, just so I can sort of like picture this right. So if I say games, okay, if I say games, so Lord of the Rings and Assassin's Creed, so we're gonna assume that like the characters, the world, the kind of whatever is like they're merged together. Like, okay, so would that be something then like, okay, so could that be something like in Assassin's Creed, rather than going back to previous historical eras of Earth, you're inhabiting assassins from historical eras of Middle Earth, possibly. And then, so it would be the same gameplay as, let's say, you know, let's be pure and say Assassin's Creed 2. So Assassin's Creed 2 gameplay, but you're like going, it'll be like you're going back, so like to be an assassin, I don't know, Barathorn, the assassin of the Dunedain. And then you, I don't know, from, say, don't want to say first era, second era, maybe even the third era, and he's like on kind of like, what's that game, The Third Age, where it's just like a separate group of peeps doing their own little thing, but it like sort of ties into what happens, yeah, and then, so we'll have it in the one game, you can go to different ones, so you could have like a Dunedain, and then maybe you're an assassin from like an orc tribe, And so like, so different, different assassins from different kind of like places. You can even have like an elf assassin. Maybe they've got to have an elf assassin back in the time of like Morgoth and that, before they came to Middle Earth. Even have that. Should this be a game? Actually, I'm feeling like it should. I'm digging this. I'm digging my own train of thought. So yeah, so I'm guessing that's the kind of thing you're asking. But yeah. Yeah, and it's fully like the Animus. It's, you know, like, yeah, fully the Animus. The whole like mechanism to this happening is all Assassin's Creedy, but it's Middle Earth that you're going to. That is an extremely good question. That's a fantastic question. Goodness. May I ask that same question of you? Pick 2 series and then, you know, you have to mix them together in a show, movie, or game, and what would that look like? Because I'm curious. I'm curious for what you're thinking. No, because now I wish I hadn't changed from Phoenix Wright. Because you just have Phoenix Wright is an attorney in the Mirkwood courts, or the Gondor courts, and so like, you know, solving murder cases but in Middle Earth, and that would just be amazing. And just like, because, you know, because you'd have, you know, Ace Attorney is known for its colourful characters. You know, it's got the colourful characters there. So you would have an absolute field day. It would be fantastic. Fair. I'm curious as to what you get. You get like, I don't know. What would be a really hard one? What would be a hard one? Bayonetta and... So Bayonetta and... Would it be a hard one? No. Get something really unique. Get like Kitamari Damacy and... the Magic Mike films. How would that look? I feel like that's a challenge. I feel like this needs to be like, kind of like a challenge. You know how, I don't know if you've done the, I think it's like a, I think I'm doing the Wikipedia challenge, I think. But like where you click, you decide on a page, on Wikipedia, so let's say I need to get to the Naruto page, and then you click random article, and then in 10 clicks or less, using the links on the page, you have to get to the Naruto one. I love that game. I love it. I'd do it in my spare time, but anyway. Movie of Hollow Fields and Yu-Gi-Oh! Oh, just so, because Hollow Fields, it rings a bell. It really does ring a bell, but I just need to remind myself. Hollow, not hello. Hollow. Oh no, not that one. That one. Oh gracious. Oh good golly gracious! I don't envy you on that one. Actually, now that I think about it, well, could possibly be a way. I'm just trying to think, because it's really like which way do you go? Do you have dual monsters in the world of Hollow Fields? Do you have Yu-Gi-Oh, but it's hollow fields as the cards, maybe? Wait. Hold on a second. Why the hell did I just do Sasuke? How the hell did I even get... Okay, 1 second. 1 second. Hold the phone. Hold the phone. Please tell me I've not just... Oh, thank the Lord Jesus above. Okay. 1 second. Okay. Sorry, I just... don't even know how I got B on that one at all. Because it's meant to be Kakuzu, who I was meant to be fighting against. And thank the Lord I haven't already done the Sasuke Kage thing and B before, because that would have been a waste of time. But anyway, but we carry on. We carry on. Okay, and now... oh, Steampunk Yu-Gi-Oh! Okay. Okay. Alright. Okay, I dig. That's actually quite interesting. Of course! Because I'm just thinking of like Yu-Gi-Oh! I want to say Yu-Gi-Oh! But like, when you ask the layman what Yu-Gi-Oh! Is, like, the one they think of. I didn't think of like the whole Duel Academy and all of that sort of stuff as well. That's actually, yeah. That's actually really good. I like these kinds of questions because you have to think really creatively. Or you can think really creatively. It's almost like in creativity class. This is like the warm-up exercise. It's like, right guys, let's get our brains going. Right, now I have to think of a really good question. It is like, all of your questions that you ask are like a real good creativity exercise. Or it's even like, you know, you can just almost like you got to draw two things out of a hat. You know, if you wanted to make it like a full-on blown exercise or like a little party game or something, you have to, you know, put all of this sort of stuff in a hat, draw it out, and then you draw out the format. And right, guys, go. You've got 5 minutes to think of something. Go. You know, of a, as fully formed an idea, I guess, as you would allow. Like there'll be a certain threshold that they'll need to explain it. Excuse me. Right, now I have to think. I have to think of something. Oh, beans. I need to try and think. Of a question. This might take me a while. But as soon as I think of one, I'll let you know. Maybe something about maybe life sims. Because I was thinking about, what was I thinking about? I was thinking about, was it Animal Crossing? No, there was like a life sim game that I was reading an article about, like a new one. Was it like a medieval fable storyteller something? Is it something to do with maybe town builders? Possibly. Which, okay, it's not a question, but all the thing it did remind me, and I think I can't remember where I saw it. I've got a funny feeling it might have been a Tumblr post. So I'm like, ugh, Tumblr. But it was like a good, fun party game, I guess, to do. Is called, what do they call it? I don't know if it's like an actual party game that's been established, or whether they just thought of it, or whether it's even they've copied off something. But it was called like Don't Get Me Started or something, and basically you're given a topic, like a random topic on literally anything. Umbrellas, I don't know, PS4 controllers, broccoli, something. Given a random topic on anything that the others decide, and for like 2 minutes, that you get timed for 2 minutes, you get a point if you can go on an uninterrupted 2-minute rant about that particular thing. So it's like, and it has to start with "Don't get me started." So you're like, umbrellas, don't get me started on umbrellas. They're like, and you have to, without stopping. So, well, you can have like a tiny little pauses here and there, but you have to go on a 2-minute unadulterated rant about umbrellas, or tea stains in your mug, or red flannels, or whatever they say. And I'm like, that would be really, really fun to do, but so difficult at the same time. Yeah, so difficult, because you'd have to pace yourself. You wouldn't want to talk so fast that you run out of things to do, but then just trying ways of creatively complaining about something as well. I think it'd be neat. I'm still trying to think of the question. I'm trying to think of really high caliber questions. Okay, this might be, okay, hang on, I think I've got the basis of it in my mind. I just need to refine it a little bit. Okay, this might be a dumb question. I feel like it's actually dumb when I think about it, but it's going to be a bit of a thing. It's going to be comprised of 4 parts. So, and this can be across, and you can pull from games, books, films, TV, media in general. So you start your life. So basically, you are a child. You live in a little village, or you live in a, yeah, it has to be like a, not a big city, but just a village. What kind of like little cozy town from a game, film thing would you start your life off in? And then you say, right, I am now of the age where I have to go to school. What school would you go to? And then you say, right, I finished school, I now move to the big city. And then you're like, what big city would you move to? And what job / career would you take when you're in that big city? Doesn't necessarily have to be like, you can say I'm a witcher in, what's the city from Pokemon? I'm a witcher from, that works in, I'm trying to think of, what's a Pokemon city? Morville City. I don't know, something. But yeah, so basically you're right. I grew up in Little Root Town in the Hoenn region, and then I went to school at Hogwarts, and then I moved to Whiterun, I suppose, well, the Imperial City from Oblivion, and I took a job as a export office cleric at the, no, that's a rubbish one. A weapons shop salesman, I don't know, it's whatever. That's actually a really bad question now that I think about it, because they're so disconnected from each other. If you want to answer that one, go ahead, but if not, I don't blame you. And Michael Rich, what up? How are things? How are you? Hang on, Scythius. I'm going to see if I can refine that question a bit better. I'm trying to think. Okay, the question. It was, okay, I apologize for this. Basically, it's kind of like plan your fictional life, as in, e.g., from any game, film, TV show, book, whatever. So you start your life off in like a little town, as all fictional heroes do. They always start off in a little town. What little town would you start off in? You know, that you get raised and, you know, born and raised throughout. And then, so you pick that, and then you write, right, I'm now off to school. What school do you go to, and what are you studying? So I'm like, oh, I go to Hogwarts, and I'm like specifically interested in arithmancy. Or I'm going to Thor's Military Academy, or whatever. And then you say, right, you finish your schooling, you now go move to the big city, because I'm like 20 years old, I'm moving to the big city. What city are you moving to? Is it like Solitude from Skyrim? Is it Motorstoke City from Pokemon Sword and Shield? Is it Novigrad from The Witcher 3? Like, what city are you moving to? And what is your job / career once you hit that city? And the job / career doesn't necessarily have to be doesn't have to exist in that world. So you can be a witcher in the Imperial City of Oblivion if you wanted to. See, the problem I have with that question is like it just makes no sense at all when you think about it. When you put all the details together, it doesn't make any sense. So hang on. So that's why I'm like, I'm gonna refine that question to make it blend a bit better. Hmm. Yeah, because basically, I want to ask, like, something around, like, yeah, pick which character, you know, let's say, pick a game, and you're like, oh, I don't know, Bayonetta 3, and you're like, okay, now you have to take the place of one character. What character would it be? Well, you're like, well, I'll take the place of the person who doesn't die in all of it. But then I'm like, okay, so that's too easy a question. So then you say, okay, what town, like fictional town, would you want to grow in? Like extrapolate the whole. Well, if you had to live in a fictional world, which fictional world would you live in? But like be a bit more specific. Like trying to find like ways to ask those sorts of questions, essentially. Because I was thinking, like, do I just do something really lame, like, what are you majoring in at Hogwarts? What Hogwarts house are you? Because I'm playing Hogwarts Legacy at the moment, so I'm all in a Harry Potter mood. But I'm like, no, don't want to ask just the Harry Potter questions that every single person gets asked 100 times in their lifetime. I want to be a bit more unique. So then I'm just trying to think. What do I want to know? Who was I just playing as? Konohamaru. Yeah. Start in town, Inaba from Persona 4. Okay. What's called Dual Academy. Alright. Move to Big City Crossbell as an entertainment. Ooh. Okay. To be honest, I'm glad you could answer. That's one thing. But no, actually, I dig that. And now that you've answered it as well, I think I'm actually like, okay, maybe it's not too bad a question. But no, I think, okay, I dig that. So now I'm trying to even think what mine would be. Oh, come on. Yeah, because we all don't want to start. I'm trying to think of starting villages. Because, I mean, everyone starts in a starting village, so it shouldn't be too hard. Maybe do I go like Outset Island from Wind Waker? I'm like, I go Auden Village and Twilight Princess. Do I go starting village from a Final Fantasy? Don't really all start in cities. I go, oh, Dragon Quest. Naruto, Toad, and young Shikamaru. Right, after these two fights, I'll update the list. But yeah, no, my correction. Hogwarts would actually be in it as like playing through the game. I'm like, ooh, I would love to go here, but at the same time, I'm like, no, because I'm gonna get some school bully who's gonna like charm my like nose to be huge or something, or my teeth to like go super large. I'm gonna have an absolute miserable time. Yeah, and literally everything can kill you. Maybe I just start a little root town from Pokemon. So I'll start off in that town. I'll go to school. Where would I go to school? Where would I go to school? Just trying to think. Just trying to think what schools there are. So there's obviously Hogwarts, there's Thor's, there's the what's the name of that movie? Like the Miss Something's school for peculiar children or something. Professor Xavier's school for gifted youngsters? That one anyway. Oh my god, I should know that. I should know that. Because I am actually a mutant. I've got like the best. I am the new Jean Grey, because that'll be why I'm going there. And then I will move to the big city of probably the Imperial City from Oblivion. I do love me some Elder Scrolls big cities. And my job would be a magical researcher. So like my job is basically I'll probably work for like the Mages Guild or something like that, and I'm like an adventurous, like a researcher slash scholar who like explores ruins or like demon portals or just any magical phenomena. I kind of just go do research on it, come, you know, get my findings, go and write reports, that sort of thing. I think that'd be mine. Feel. Possibly. Okay, I'll try and think of a better question. And Michael Rich, if you have any questions of your own, like in fact any question ever actually, by all means go for it. Okay, so Leaf Village. Okay, alright, I dig. School choice Totsuki Kori. Okay. Ooh. Okay. Big City Gotham, which I'll be a therapist, because Lord knows the city needs it. True. Oh, Scythius took the words right out of my mouth. Good choices. Okay, I'm happy. Good choices, guys. In fact, I mean, to be honest, like, as a therapist, you would never be out of a job there. Like, you have job security. I think that's the word, isn't it? You got job security there, so so I suppose that's one thing. Abito Zetsu. Oh, and I said I was gonna update the list, but I'll do it after this one. It's down to 77. Oh, I didn't play as Conan, that's why. Touche. Touche. You could, or rather than like, you could get the Quinzel treatment in like a different kind of way, like rather than get the crazy, you just, I don't know, you get a super cool villain that he's like, hey yo, you want to team up? I'm like, yeah, sure, like, you know, you've convinced me that you'd be super cool to team up with, and then you're now just partners in crime. You don't have, you know, you don't have to have stuff, you know, don't need to get the crazy look in your eye to do it. Jokerified. Yes, true. Yes, to become a fan favorite character, you do need to get the crazy. Fair. Now, okay. Again, this might be just like, if you were if you were in Gotham, or I suppose even in Metropolis, and you were just like a petty crime burglar, a cat burglar maybe even, wouldn't you think, like when you're off on your little nightly, right, let's go rob a bank, surely they must have some people in the group go, do we think it's wise to do this? Like, Batman just literally beat up like 3 of our guys yesterday, and then 4 of our guys the day before that, and then another couple of guys the day before that. It's like, do you really think it's do you really think we should be criminals? And they're like, Jimmy, what you want about, like, Batman's just, you know, we're gonna be the one set of criminals in the city that he doesn't target. You know, everyone's just pushing their luck, thinking that they're gonna be the ones that don't get away with it, but then they never do. They never do. I don't know. So same with Superman. Like, you'd kind of just give up trying to be a criminal if you're in a city with superheroes. Like, unless you're superpowered yourself, you'd kind of just give up at that point. Right, gonna update the list because we're down to 5977. Fights remaining. 5977. That's what I said, wasn't it? Lovely jubbly. Okay. Okay, right. This is gonna be like a multi-stage question. So I need you to think of a group of protagonists. So I need you. So it can be something like Class 7 from Trials of Cold Steel. It can be the Fellowship from Lord of the Rings. It can be the group of dwarves from, although you might probably want to have a smaller group just for the second part of the question, but think of like a group from something. Could be any one of the teams from Naruto. It could be trying to think of a like movie kind of examples. Could be the Avengers, could be the Justice League. Oh no, Justice League is a bit thing. Okay, and I need you to split it. If it's an odd numbered group, basically you're gonna have to split it into half. So you're gonna have to split that group into half, and you've got 2 sets of people. So, for instance, if I take Class 7, for example, I'm gonna exclude Crow and Milliam. Just gonna take the core group. So if I take Class 7, so in one group I'm gonna have Reen, Elisa, Gaius, Elliot, and Emma, and on the other team I'm going to have Laura, Marcus, Eustace, Fee. I think that's it. So kind of do that. So that's probably like a bigger group. Might not necessarily be conducive. But then again, if you're able to list them all out, then go for it. So basically you just need to split your group into 2. For something like the Avengers or the Justice League even, just pick which iteration of it you want to go for. And in Sevo, It is very nice indeed, is it not? Is it not? But no, and welcome. And how are you doing? How are you doing on this fine day? But yeah, so Scythius and Michael Rich just split those two into a distinct into a distinct group. If it's an odd numbered group, then you can choose to either drop someone, or just one of the groups has an odd number. You know, has one more than the other. And let me know once you've done that. And in Civil, I am doing fabulous. I'm doing fabulous indeed. What today is actually, it's actually been alright. I've been super inundated with work, but work's work, I guess. It's Friday tomorrow, so at least the weekend's coming up. But no, otherwise fine. Okay. Oh my goodness, controller, please stop. Okay, right, Scythius, you split them up. Now, those two have to fight each other in a fight to the death, which group wins. And all at their, like, max, whatever power level you want. You know, try and imagine what the fight scene would look like. Be as creative and imaginative as you want. If you just thought instinctively, right, which one would win, then who would win? So, like, for Trails of Cold Steel example of my two groups, I'll be like, oh, crap. Probably Reen's team, because yeah, yeah, with or without oh, they're all Terminators. They're all cold-blooded killers that no emotion into it. They are just out for blood. They don't care who they're fighting. They just want to go for it. Yeah, because bringing personality into the mix, I can trying to, you know, cater for that would be an absolute nightmare, especially when they are a team that loves each other. Yeah. Yeah, and Michael Rich, the Team 7. I mean, if you had, you know, Naruto and Sakura versus Kakashi and Sasuke, that would be difficult trying to pick that one, no matter which way you sliced it. And in Savo, just so you're up to speed on what we're talking about, because you're probably like, what the hell are you all on about? Basically it's pick a team from anything, like Fellowship from Lord of the Rings, the Avengers, Class 7 from Cold Steel, any of the Naruto teams, whatever. Split them down the middle, like in whichever pairings or groups you want. Just put them on two distinct teams, and then those two teams have to fight to the death. Who wins? Yeah. You don't even have to say why they win, just who wins. If you want to say why, then the more the merrier, I guess. Because I was thinking in my head initially, I was like, oh, Fellowship from Fellowship of the Ring, but I'm like, hang on a second, you've got 4 hobbits, and then like 4 other, well, I suppose 5 if you include Gandalf, other people that can actually fight. So I'm basically, whoever Gandalf and Aragorn's team is, they're the ones that win, because, I mean, they just is. Oh, no, essentially whoever Gandalf's team is, he would win, they would win. Okay, Niji and because these sorts of questions I like, because back in the day when I thought I could write a fan fiction, I did, basically me and my friend got a whole list of all different series and franchises and properties that we were into. It's like Sonic, Bleach, Teen Titans, Naruto, SpongeBob, everything. And we listed out our 2 favorite characters and our 2 least favorite characters. And basically you mix them all up. So all, well, actually no, you mix all your favorite characters up. And then basically they have to go and fight the least favorite characters. How would you imagine those fights? Yeah. Oh. Okay. If I played, because I haven't played Persona yet, I will pretend that I know what you're talking about, Scythias. But yeah, but I hope that was a little, at least, food for thought. And the Konoha 11. Ooh. Ooh, ooh. True. And Scythias, is there a particular reason, like what would, if you had to list like the number 1 reason why your pro tag team would, is there a number 1 reason why your pro tag team would win? Is it just the fact that it's got the pro tag in it? Yeah, yeah. In Sevo, it's actually like it's yeah, choosing a ton of characters. So let's say if we took, oh, what's a large group? Just trying to think. Signs of the Seventh Dawn. No. Say if we took all of your party members from FF7, so you got Cloud, Tifa, Barrett, Aerith, Kachi. You've got Vincent, Yuffie, Sid. You split all of those up. Oh, you'd have to randomly do that, wouldn't you? Protagonist versatility. Oh yeah. Oh true. Yeah. Ah, so they're okay. So that's it's a kind of a character that you can fill any kind of role. You're not like relegated to just a warrior kind of role or a magic or whatever kind of role. Interesting indeed. Fab. Actually curious what fight we're at. I'm gonna make a joke, but it would hint spoiler. Oh. Fair enough. Fair enough. I mean, I would say go for it, but just on the off chance that I do play Persona 4, wasn't it? Oh, dress is finally put back together. Nice. Nice, nice. Oh wait, did you fully take it apart to move it? You didn't just push it from one spot to the other? Young Kakashi and Yukito. Oh, you pulled out the drawers. Okay. I was about to say, I'm like, did you fully just like take it apart? I'm like, hang on. That wouldn't quite work. But goodness. Teams of Naruto, Hinata, all tentatively versus. Ooh. Interesting. Also, talking academy versions. Yeah, I'd agree with that. Trying to think. Yeah, because it's interesting with the academy versions. Because Hinata's useless. Like, don't mean to be mean. Hinata's useless. Choji's useless. Sasuke and Neji are the MVPs on their team. But then again, actually, if you take personalities out of it, no, it's still useless. Oh, here's a super quick question. Super quick one. Taking personality. Shikamaru team's quick. Fair. So I'm just trying to think. You took. Because that's actually quite a difficult one to think about now that when you apply more thought to it, you know, if you took personalities completely and they're all Terminators, who would win? Because then you have to, the fact that they're at the academy level, what does that say? That says that Naruto's got like bugger all. Sasuke technically doesn't have the Sharingan. He's just very good at fighting. It is actually a difficult one. But I've got a super quick question, a palate cleanser, so to speak. Is any, if you could have any, and this has probably been asked to death I don't care. Like I said, it's palate cleanser. If you could have any weapon in any game, and I'm going to put some restrictions around this. So a weapon is like an object that you can hold. That's like, we're going to relegate it to swords, bows, daggers, axes, knives, hammers, whatever. We're not going to count giant mecha robots. So there's no divas from Overwatches. When there's no like magical artifacts that like world-ending artifacts that you just press a button and everything, like no nukes, but like guns, swords, scythes, staves. So you could have any weapon from any property, anything, includes films and books and TV shows and all that goodness, and any magical abilities that come with it, magical / whatever abilities. What would you choose? And I mean, the whys will probably be fairly obvious by what it is. So yeah, portal gun. I dig it. I dig it. That is insanely powerful, actually. Because mine, what would mine be? Mine would probably be... Because I was thinking, I'll just have the Master Sword on my... Nah. Nah, I don't want the Master Sword. I want... What do I want? Something. Excalibur. Ooh. I'm guessing that's from like the Fates. The Fates Day. Like the... Yeah, okay. Okay, interesting. So in Sevo, is there like a, with like, would your weapon be, would it be a particular kind of scythe or just scythes in general? Oh my gracious, why are these fights taking so long? Oh my gracious giddly aunt. Oh, true. I'm just trying to think what mine would be. Pokeball. Ooh. I will say no. Because I suppose a Pokeball's not necessarily a weapon unto itself. But now I'm thinking, oh, was there a second question about Pokemon now that I'm thinking of? because I'm actually now fully struggling. Fully struggling to think of something. Yes, it is. It is fully. I suppose, what would I do? Like, I'm getting this, I'm getting this feel, like, these flashes, these visions in my head of, like, a weapon that, like, has different forms to it. Like a thing that turns into a gun but then it morphs into a sword. Am I thinking of a gunblade? Am I thinking of the FF13 gunblade? I might be. But I feel like it's fleshy at the same time. Mjolnir. No, now I'm thinking of no, the Leviathan axe from God of War. That was a train of thought. Your Iron Man armor sent me on a train of thought to lead me to Kratos. The Leviathan axe. A mercurial weapon. Ooh. Basically, a living demon and scythe. Ah. So I'm liking this. I'm loving this. Fair. And because then in Civ, I suppose, then if you say you did conquer the demon, so to speak, or conquer the scythe, then you're just like, yo, I got a demon now to like boost my power levels, I guess. Actually, that's actually good, yeah. Okay, 2 characters from anything. Okay, we're gonna go Link from Legend of Zelda, and we're gonna go, we're gonna go, Ash from League of Legends. Yeah, we're gonna do, Ash from, yeah, Ash from League of Legends and Link from Legend of Zelda. They had a kid and you've now been trusted. What are they like? How do you handle it? Oh, good thing I picked a boy and a girl then. The kid would be you don't head just straight up. You're just like, I'm just gonna like right, bruh. There's the fridge if you want food. There's your bedroom if you don't want. There's your bedroom if you want to sleep. There's the shops down there if you need to buy more food. Okay, bye, laters. So many characters make a choice. Okay, if I had to do it, I'll do okay, so Link and Ash. Again, I'm guessing I've always pictured Ash as a woman of few words, just like Link. So So I'd imagine their kid would be calm. Their child would be very calm. Very just sort of just keeps to themselves, but like naturally curious about things. A heavenly child to deal with, no problems, no temper tantrums, but you kind of worry that they're like a little bit too quiet, and you kind of just like, oh my god, are you actually alright? Are you sad or like bored or depressed? Like, oh my goodness. And then you just stress that you're like a bad parent or like a bad guardian sort of thing. But then they're just like, nah, I'm all good. And then they do well at school, and then they just go off and just without too much fanfare just go and live their own life. They'll just be a very like low maintenance is what I'm envisioning. I think we're all in fanfic mode now because it's got the gears turning now for me. Ooh, okay. I've got a question that sort of goes alongside that. Also sort of very similar. So pick a man and a woman character with, let's just say, special abilities of some kind. So whether it's magic or whether it's like a superpower or I don't know, they're a parcel tongue that can talk to snakes, or just some ability of some kind. So it can be some unique ability. So Farah from Overwatch, she doesn't have an ability as such that someone else couldn't also have. Because that sort of thing. Whereas someone like Reaper, technically kind of unique in a sense. I think. Can't say I'm too knowledged up on Overwatch lore. So like a man and a lady character, and they have some abilities of some kind. So e.g., let's say. We're gonna say Lysandra from League of Legends. No, it's a bad one. It's a bad example. We'll do... I suppose we could do Lysandra. No. Let's go... Sasuke and Mikasa. Okay. They have a child, and the child's ability is like a mishmash of the abilities of the parents. What does that ability look like / function? So like take Sasuke and Mikasa for instance. And correct me if I'm wrong, because I feel like I'm like my Attack on Titan knowledge is slim. Does Mikasa have like, could she turn into a Titan? Because if so, then you could have like, ooh, do you have like, is the ability like you're like a Titan but you've got like the Susanoo armor on you kind of thing, like something like that. So like for instance, what's an example? So I say what's a good example? Oh my god, I'm like looking around like what? I need like inspiration. Um. Hmm. Who's it just playing as? Got young Neji. So let's say, take for instance, Starfire from, I'll say Teen Titans. No, because they're a teenager. No, yeah. Starfire from Teen Titans mixed with, say Neji. So, and their child had a mixture, had like a power that was like a combo of their ones. What would that be? Because I'm thinking, how would you mix the Byakugan with a power that Neji has? With Starfire's powers. Terumi from BlazBlue and Phase 4 from Dead or Alive. Ooh. Right. Let's go, hold up. 1 second. 1 second here. Because I know Phase 4, but I don't know Terumi. Okay, 1 second. Just gonna Google Terumi BlazBlue. Oh, I mean the Google image is very like similar. Okay. Quinzel from Ubelblatt and Jolene from JoJo's. To be a stand of blades that extend from the back and a sword in the hand that drain vitality. Ooh, okay. Because I'm thinking like a little bit like to another extent, sort of in Fire Emblem Awakening. And I was thinking Fates as well. Yeah. You like when you have kids with people, they like I think depending on which game it is, like the kid takes the father's or mother's class, but the other parent's hair color, something like that. Anyway. Yeah. Oh, Ball, welcome. Hello. How are you doing? How is life? I am all goods. I am all goods. I'm living life. I'm living large. I'm cozy, yeah. And we're in full fanfic mode. We're in full fanfic mode right now. We are matchmaking and baby making at the same time. That sounds weird. I do apologize. I just as I finished saying that sentence, I'm like, oh, that's weird. Apologies for that. Ooh, what anime you been binging? Bofuri. I don't want to get hurt, so I'll max out my defense. Is that the name of the anime? Wait, actually go. That is a dumb question. Of course, it's the name of the anime. Another game anime with the new girl puts a point of vitality. get to max out a stat in real life. Which stat do you buff? Ooh, that is a real good one. I was about to say it, so I'm like, who Bob? Yeah, and the what's it? Michael Rich. That was like with the whole talk no jutsu. Is, you know, just if you had Naruto's power of talking to people, you can, you know, solve the world hunger, world peace crisis. Oh, that is such a. Because I would be thinking, I would be max. Oh. I think for me, it would be maxing out intelligence. I think it would be intelligence on nerf. It would help. Oh, not nerf. Sorry. Intelligence. I would max out because it would help me so much in my job, and yeah, far more than charisma would. Like for the stage of life I'm in now, I need more intelligence, I think. But that's such a hard question. Oh no, and Sevo. We're definitely telling your boss. Like where are these reports at? It's like, sorry, I was just thinking about, you know, fictional couples and characters. And young Sakura. Like I feel like the more I think about it, the more like I've heard it somewhere. I think I remember hearing it both of these. Oh, and I'm just getting absolutely wrecked. Everything into vitality. True. Oh, yeah, but then would you do strength and then no? Because strength, what would you do? You just embarrass all the people at the gym. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, look at us being all selfish with our selfish answers. Could you do wisdom? Could you do wisdom as a stat that you can buff? Because because you're wise, you're both it's like the middleman. You're able to help yourself because you're just the master at just knowing the right thing to do, and at the same time you can impart wisdom and knowledge onto others to help them. They're like, oh, wise sage, what do I do to... I can't decide between strawberry or raspberry ice cream, and you'll be like, well, my child, which does your heart tell you? And they're like, both, and you're like, well, there you go, there's your answer. Fair. Yeah, true, actually, because I was thinking of like strength as in, I was thinking of the whole the saving people montage in Man of Steel when he's like yanking the cruise ship that's been, not cruise ship, the ship, the boat, the shipping thingy my bob, whatever, my brain's fried. They'd have been stranded, maybe. Yeah, actually, yeah, all of them you can help in some kind of way. What would you use dexterity for, I wonder? Oh, people run to the store. True. Like a literal DoorDash. As in, yeah, like you're literally dashing. True that. And then I suppose, you know, the whole rescuing the cat from the tree as well. You'll be able to nimbly climb the tree to save them. So you'd be like the little you'd be the friendly neighborhood DoorDasher, dashing DoorDasher. Come on. Goodness. To be honest, I would not be surprised if somewhere in the world someone has done a startup like that. Like an underground startup. Wouldn't be surprised. It seems too good a name to not. Neither do I. Neither do I. But I'm gonna pretend that if I was into it, then I would pretend that it was a good name if I was into it. Oh no. If I'll pretend I was into it, and therefore it's a good name. There you go. There we are. Mixed up my words there. Here we are. Fab. Third Raikage and Roshi. I think we use some. Perception would be OP. Like if you think about it, like yeah, if I think about all the, like, try and think of all the skills, all the proficiencies from D&D, animal handling, OP. Acrobatics, OP. Sneaking, OP. Oh, no, that is fine. That is all good. Look away. And hopefully you win your matches. Good luck. Because then also, like, you think about Constitution, you know, you think about like Constitution, you know, sort of, it's like the flip side of Vitality in a sense. Did I just play as no? Flip side of Thingamabob. So you can help like doctors with like clinical trials of medicines and things because you've got such a good vitality that you'll most likely survive. Actually, no, because you're a bad person to test on. Actually, no, that's a bad idea. Not very time. Oh, she's playing theatre rhythm. Oh my goodness. Oh my lordy. I haven't got that game yet, but I am so excited to get it. I love Final Fantasy music so much, and I've never had any chance to play any of the other theatre rhythm games, so I'm dying to play it. So yeah, no, it's definitely, if she's still on, we'll give her a raid. Vitality. Oh. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, good point. Maybe Vitality / Constitution probably isn't the best one. There's a question, and a complete segue, complete into the segue, but semi-related to the zombie apocalypse. Let's say a zombie apocalypse happened tomorrow. Actually no, I lie. I was gonna say which character would you want to be stuck in the zombie apocalypse with? But I'm like, I mean, anyone with any kind of superpower at any point would already be a good pick. You'd like to be stuck with death. I don't know if you mean like actual like you dead, or like do you mean like death from Darksiders? Death from the Sandman? Oh, it is that you'd rather die than try to survive. Fair. Fair. No, I don't want a rematch. Goodness. But I do want to pick Hun. I will say, it made me very proud, very happy. I'm just a bit like, oh, you guys stop. I remember at one of my younger sister's birthday last year. It was up in the town where they live, so I went and the had all my family sitting around the table, and then my dad had put together a little quiz, you know, about my sister. You know, he'd asked her questions, and you know, we had to guess what her answers were. And one of them was, you know, of the family members here, who would she want if suddenly a zombie apocalypse happened or an apocalypse happened? Which family member would she like go to, you know, sort of buddy up with? And it was funny because the boy hadn't gone. The boy didn't go to this birthday. So she ended up picking my brother. But then everyone around the table was saying that, if you know, if a zombie apocalypse happened, we're going to where they are. We're going to the boy, like without a shadow of a doubt, he will be surviving because no one in my family does any kind of like outside stuff like hunting or fishing or anything like that. So the boy and his skills are highly unique in my family and highly desirable at the same time. So I was a bit like, guys, stop. There's only room for so much of us. You know, can't have all of you coming over to survive the zombie apocalypse with us. But yeah. But no, but I agree wholeheartedly that if I have to go, like, you know, when the zombie apocalypse, when the initial shock has died down and then we have to carry on living, I'm going to be like, I ain't smart enough to get my own internet going, my own power. You know, my PS5, you know, all my consoles are useless. I would be miserable after like a year. Sure, we'd be able to live off the land and do all that sort of stuff, but I'd rather not, so I'd probably I'd have a good go of it, I guess. And as you say, go to the Winchester, have a nice bite, wait for the sweet embrace of death. There we are, lovely. Sakura and Hinata. I think. It's the worst possible. It's the worst apocalypse situation. As in the worst to, like, the one you would least want to live in? Or just the objectively the most damage? I would say... probably one would just be the worst to live in. Part of me wants to say 2012. Because you think about it, the world's like screwed. You're on a giant boat. You can't grow stuff. Oh, true. Oh goodness, I need to think about this. Because I was gonna say Walking Dead or like Last of Us. I'm like, no, actually nah, because they do pretty okay. It's not the zombies are the problem in that world. I was thinking 2012 because then their world's just a giant ocean. So I'm like, well, that would be awful. I'm like, no, because they managed to do okay in Waterworld. What-ish. War of the Worlds, yeah, that's actually pretty rubbish as well. A Quiet Place, yeah. Yeah, that would be awful. Yeah, I suppose, yeah, Quiet Place, because in everything you do, you're going to be having to make conscious efforts to be quiet. Whereas with the others, there will be moments where you could just sort of just be normal. That's a really, really, really good question. Yeah, I might actually have to agree with you on the Quiet Place one. Actually. So I think I would actually hate that the most, having to stay quiet the entire time. Like all the other zombie ones, I suppose I could make do-ish. I just find a super, 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 super secluded place. And you'd be relatively okay-ish. Just have to hope that zombies don't go wandering. Where are we at? I think I will do... two more sets of fights, I think. So I don't want to finish on a Kankuro one. Do two more sets of fights, and then that'll be us for the day. Methinks. Because then, actually, I do have to get ready. Might just be after this one, actually. Because I've got to get ready for work tomorrow. Which, thankfully, it's the weekend. And I don't have any meetings, at least for now, which is beautiful. last one. Hope the boys are alright. Just don't know if that was a shout or a yawn or something. Anyway, right, last fight of the day. That's right, so I've got to mentally prepare myself for tomorrow's stream, because I'm doing East 1 and I'm on the first boss of the game and I'm having an absolute nightmare. I mean, to be fair, I've only actually tried it twice, so I might actually find that I'm actually okay, but I'm already dreading it, and I feel like I've rushed through the first part of the game, so I probably need to go back and grind a few levels. But anyway, update the list because I realise I haven't updated it in so long. Because we're down to what are we down to? 3-6. So we're down to 5-9-3-6. Fabulous. Okay, I think I will call it a day there. We're in the 5,000s. Goodness gracious, we're probably 40. I want to say we're like 46-47% of the way through. Almost halfway. Gracious. Anyway, I'll call it a day. Thank you so much for joining. Should we raid? Is it Chika Difu? Chika something. Chika Difu 84. I might raid her if you're all keen, but if not, then I will end it here. But this weekend, I don't anticipate there being any changes, so it should just be like a normal stream schedule as normal. East 1 tomorrow, Trials of Cold Steel 2 Saturday, and then day 70 on Sunday of this. But no, thank you so much for joining. It's actually been so fun. I love just I mean, if you couldn't tell, I love just like questions and like, what would you do with this, and what characters do you do with this. I just love it. And yes, podcasts are only as bad as the entertainment. So I've got jigsaw puzzles I can do. I've got books to read. I've got cables in a box to tidy up. I've got cups to drink. I'll run out of things to do after like a week. Then I'll be like, right, I'm done. This apocalypse, I'm over it. I'm done. And I'm going to make life a lovely hell for the boy. But no, thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining. I will see y'all when I next see y'all. I'm going to have a safe one. Stay rested, stay well, stay hydrated, stay fresh, stay fruity. And I love you all. Have a great one, and bye.